Teaching multiplying fractions using the web. There are several different strategies that you can use when you're trying to teach your students with technology. There are many benefits as well as downfalls that come with the technology that you are trying to implement. During this, there are two different student-driven learning environments that are online and available, IXL and Think Central. Both of them have student logins, and you can lead them with a teaching account. There are several benefits to having the online learning environment for students. First is the visual and audio input. Some of those students have those differing needs, and the visual and audio input is met by both of them. There's immediate feedback for students. That means that your students make a mistake, and these two programs are teaching and walking them through their mistakes and showing them areas of improvement. It also gives them immediate feedback of their successes as well, so to make them feel successful. They're very user-friendly. They are easy to understand. There's a simple layout to them so that the students are not easily distracted. The pacing is controlled by the student, which is a huge improvement over a classroom or textbook approach. If students can control their own learning, they're more likely to be invested in it. Students also have an opportunity this way to be enriched and as well as remediated if necessary. Both of these activities have a game-like feeling. Students are interested because they think that they're playing a game, but little do they know they're also learning while they're playing. And this is a great way to level the learning. This is a way that you can meet the students at the level of learning that's appropriate for them, and it gives them a chance to work at a level that they're comfortable with. Now, of course, with every benefit, there's always downfalls. The biggest downfall that we face so far is the need for laptops and technology, as well as students trying to log on independently. In 5th grade, they have their passwords and usernames all taped to the inside of their planners. However, they can never seem to find them, or they're not where they're supposed to be. So we also, to try to help that out, we make sure that those passwords and logins are posted within the room and has student access, so there's no need for them to come up and ask us their username or password. They're just trying to make them more independent learners. And in our school, we do have laptop carts, and we have laptops available at each classroom. However, if we want all students in our classroom to participate, we're in a co-taught classroom. That means there's 47 students. If all of them are participating at the same time, or 25 if there's not. And a lot of times we have a hard time finding 25 computers that are available because everyone in our room and everyone in our hallway is trying to implement technology as much as possible. Another downfall is having to monitor student work as well as their progress. Because this is independent, you have to make sure that the students are working to their full potential and at a level of learning that's appropriate for them. There's also students that we have in our room that are very sneaky and tricky when it comes to the computer, and they're on sites they're not supposed to be on. And lastly, that's all web-based, so there's no work to take home. However, students can access, if they do have internet access at home, a lot of them will get home and say, well, I forgot what I was doing, or I didn't know what to do here. So it would benefit if they have some small lesson, or we use an interactive notebook. We try to print out and take notes in the most interactive way as possible. So these are the two sites that I have found that have been great for our students. This is the Think Central. This goes with the Go Math, so it goes right along with the textbook that our students are using. It gives great lessons. They can do all their assignments. This is what the student login looks like. So it's very user-friendly, very easy to understand. Teachers can go in separately and assign work that they would like their students to work on. So we've been working on multiplying fractions by fractions and multiplying fractions in whole numbers. The math teacher is Mrs. Savard. She goes in, she assigns this, she gives a due date. They can also access their old assignments, so they just have to click on the things to do. Then they simply just click on the lesson that they need to work on, and it walks them through each page, so they can click in and do this independently. This is also, students do usually have their earphones because it will walk them through it and give them the audio. So they just can click through and they're just following the arrows. It walks them through what they're supposed to be doing. It tells them the steps.
Step 2. Fold the paper horizontally into fourths so that each of the thirds is divided into 4 equal parts.
So this is a great way for students to still meet the goals that they have within the Common Core, since the math aligns with the Common Core. This is a great way to implement technology given information that is relevant. Instead of trying to form the technology to the subject, this is subject-driven technology. This is very easy to achieve. Students, it's very user-friendly, so they have it's very easy for them to achieve. It can be achieved with a traditional paper and pencil method. However, it's not as interesting for students and they would rather be on technology because it does go right along with their math book. So a lot of these they'll see in their math book. And this is true, this is the true technology integration because it aids the content learning. So it gives you the opportunity to go right along exactly with what students are supposed to be working on, and the expectations are clear. Now with IXL, it's very similar. Students can log in. They can find the topic of choice. We usually assign topics for homework or morning work, and we do rotations through our math centers. Right now the students are working on the multiplying fractions. We give them the number that they're supposed to be working on. So they can click in. So we did multiplying fractions by whole numbers. You can click in, it gives them like a game. This is like a game for them. It tells them how many they've answered. It gives them their SMART score. We usually say they need a SMART score of about 80 in order to be finished. It also times them so they know how much time they're taking on each program. So this is great if the students get it wrong. It gives them immediate feedback. Let's see. Oh. So it tells them, it gives them an explanation of why the answer is what it is. It gives them immediate feedback positive. It also gives them immediate feedback when they're incorrect. It tells them the correct answer. It gives them strategies to work through. So these two are really great. This one would replace more traditional math practice if you were going through with just like paper and pencil or flashcards. So these are both great resources to use, and it gives the students a way to have the visual and audio that they sometimes need and desire. It gives them the immediate feedback to help them in the learning process. It's very user-friendly. They can understand it, and once they've used it once or twice, they can be relatively independent, and the pacing is in the hands of the student. It's a level of learning that they're comfortable with and a level of learning that gives them the most potential available.